I'm not Flitz. I'm the host of a different show. But Flitz is actually in London right now with the rest of Smosh Games.
What show are you the host
I'm the host of a show called Unpopular Kids.
Oh, really? Is that it?
I'm hosting Smosh Games Alliance Live.
Is that the main show?
And that's the voice you hear, Sohinki. Hi, Sohinki. But because the rest of Smosh Games is actually in London right now, me and Sohinki, we're stuck here.
London?
What's a London? Nothing. What's a London with you?
No, that doesn't work like that.
Anyways, so for guests, we actually have producers, not only of this show, but this entire channel. First off is, as I call, Brohinky. Flitz likes to call him Jon Sohinki.
Jon Sohinki.
This one.
That one's
because he knows nothing.
And then next to him is a friend of mine for many, many years, and now works on
many of years.
Yep, now works on Smosh Games
Sohinki!
Yay, Sohinki!
Yeah.
Also, Jason Parker!
Yay!
And so the whole goal of today's episode is actually to be able to give you a behind-the-scenes look on how to run a YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos on this particular channel that explains how to do videos and how to make each video better. But how do you really produce a channel? But before we go into a channel and how to create that, I have my iPad here, and we are going to go over the news from the week.
Yay!
The first big news that hit this morning. Actually, all the news that I'm covering happened today. So for those of you watching live, today is Thursday. For those watching the live version, it goes up Friday, right?
Wait. No, so we will be putting this up as soon as we're done filming, as long as the internet is
working. We've been having internet problems, so right about that just in case. Anyways, the news for today was the Pokemon Company. That's what the company is called, by the way. It's the Pokemon Company.
I don't believe that for a second.
It is. That's even how the trailer starts.
Really?
From the Pokemon Company. And then Nintendo flashes up? So maybe it's referring to Nintendo as the Pokemon. No, I'm pretty sure it's actually the company itself. And then you have from Nintendo. And there is going to be something called Pokemon Go. People who've always wanted Pokemon MMO, well, guess what? This might be your chance. It utilizes your GPS, and you'll look at your map, and you'll be like, a wild Pikachu appeared. And then you can go to that location and find said Pokemon. Now, there's not a lot of information based on the trailer. It's just like a cinematic trailer for like people like going out, like, oh my God, there's a Bulbasaur on the bridge. Oh, throw my Pokeball at it, and boom, you got it. But what I really hope...
Wait, we can throw Pokeballs at it?
Okay, if it's based exactly how the trailer is, you hold out your hand and then a Pokeball will show up in it, then you throw the Pokeball. Granted, that's not how technology works these days, so I don't think that's going to be the case.
How will I know how much muscle to use if I can't feel the weight of the Pokeball?
It's going to be based on your phone. So
based on the weight of this
That's not a true fact. Wow.
I
hope not.
So it's really light.
Hey, Jason, in the meantime, or give me my live chat on there so I can talk to these guys.
Sure.
And so how Pokemon Go is going to work is it'll show up on your GPS where a Pokemon is. So it's trying to get people active and walking around and playing outside. So then you can go find...
So that Jimmy Kimmel's happy.
Yeah, so the Jimmy Kimmel...
So that message on the Wii U doesn't work where it's like, hey, go outside and play. You don't have to stay inside.
No, now you can go outside and play Pokemon in the MMO version. Oh, hey, is this the camera that's on you guys?
I mean, mainly probably. Just so you know, I'm getting wrecked right now in Rocket League.
Well, you are playing against Sohinki.
And I've only played a couple times.
So what this means for Pokemon Go is that I hope it works this way, because it'd be dumb if it was any other way. It should be a full...
When I hear Pokemon Go, I think Pokemon Global Offensive. I just imagining Pikachu with like an M4A1 assault rifle.
Taking out Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
With a grenade.
Because Bulbasaur is a terrorist.
No. Anyways, so...
Chemical warfare?
How I hope it works is that you can go out and collect Pokemon, and in the trailer they do show that you can trade Pokemon with your friends, but I hope that you can then challenge your friends to Pokemon battles and use your Pokemon team and raise them up to have, like, it's literally an MMO in real life.
Would you say that you raise them up so they can stand on mountains?
No, I'm not Wes. I'm not going to sing for you. And so, like, this potentially could be a huge thing. It's utilizing global positioning. It's utilizing a social aspect amongst you and your friends. at the end of the trailer, they show like this countdown that's happening, and then Mewtwo shows up in New York, and everyone's running to Times Square to try to fight Mewtwo together. So
and then it turns into Godzilla.
It's a raid battle,
movie.
right? As someone who plays MMOs, that's how a raid works.
A lot of people show up to one place and do a thing.
But like, are they fighting Mewtwo?
Yeah, they saw all these different Pokemon showing up, and right before the timer went out, Pikachu did like a move, and then everyone threw their Pokeballs and caught Mewtwo. That's amazing.
Yeah,
it's utilizing the world around you. It makes Pokemon real.
But the other thing is, it's not Pokken tournament, so I.
Oh, what if there are tournaments? What if you go out and you collect Pokemon?
No, I'm talking about Pokken.
Okay, yeah, there's the Pokemon fighting game, which will be
Tekken.
great.
But Pokken.
But this is better. This is you can go outside and see a Charizard flying through the sky.
Outside, so
is that better?
By seeing it outside, you have to look through your phone to see it. But that's amazing. Really, Pokemon in real life. How is this not the biggest news of the year?
I'm cool with that.
Okay,
that sounds pretty cool.
But then,
I mean, that's the only reason I have a Game Boy.
Get off.
Is Pokemon.
No.
And by like a Game Boy and Pokemon, I mean like the original Game Boy and
Gen 1.
the original Pokemon.
Gen 2 Gen 2 is the best one. That's all agree on that. Silver and Gold is the best. But
what?
Jason,
What? Whoa!
Hands down the best.
Whoa! Red and blue.
Red and blue is only. It was great. It started everything. But Gold and Silver literally goes back, and you can still collect all the same Pokemon.
I'm confused. Isn't that
Gen 2 is Gold and Silver?
Right. Okay. So you're saying
I'm saying Gen 2 is best
okay.
because it had the original and more. It only added to it. Took nothing away from Red and Blue.
I mean, I didn't.
Right?
I can't get the live chat on this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
I think tablets don't allow for that.
Just
if I'm wrong, let me know.
Yeah, just ask me for questions when we would do questions.
You got a question, you interrupt me. I don't want to rant too much, except for Pokemon. Now, Jason, when you first heard about the news, you actually had a great concept.
Yeah, so I've been talking about like doing Pokemon in real life style stuff for a long time, pretty much ever since the Wii U, the gamepad was announced. So what I thought that was perfect for is Pokemon Snap. And me and my friends always talked about why has this game not been re-released when like the Wii U seems like the perfect platform for it.
Maybe not re-released, but at least a sequel.
Or a sequel, yeah. And then you could take your pad for your Nintendo Wii U, and as you look around the room, it would be like Pokemon would like peek out from behind the couch or something like that. So it like integrates Pokemon Snap with the whole look around aspect of that gamepad. And I feel like it'd be super easy to figure out how to program that, and it would make the game a little bit more interesting.
Yeah,
also,
and then you just turn your Wii into an AR simulator, and then you can like catch Pokemon or
I
snap
mean,
pictures.
effectively that and the Nintendo 3DS are just cameras anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you
Now,
make a game?
I
where
like
you
that
use them as
concept.
that?
Now add it to Pokemon Go. Maybe you don't want to be a Pokemon master or Pokemon battle trainer, that's what they call them. Maybe you don't want to be a Pokemon trainer like beating Pokemon up. Maybe you just want to be a photographer. So the app should utilize the camera feature as well.
National Geographic Pokemon.
It's like, oh, look at the Bulbasaur up there. All right, take a picture, then send that to Professor Oak, and then he judges you and says that your photo's stupid, only gets you 10 points.
Judges you.
Yeah, that's what he did in the game. He's like, this photo's a little blurry. Screw
I thought
you,
he
Professor
slept
Oak.
with your mom. I thought that was
That
the whole
too.
point of it.
He's
Well, yeah, that's why he wanted to tell you photos blurry. He's like, you got to go out and do this.
Oh,
yeah.
two more.
I need
another
15 minutes, so go take a few pictures
I'm not
of
finished? Okay.
Bulbasaur. So I really hope that it utilizes being able to create your own Pokemon team and raise them up. No. And be able to fight amongst your friends.
Can stand on a mountain.
And then also, maybe you
What's
don't
the
be a
average
trainer,
lifespan
and
of
they
a
should
Pokemon?
add in a feature just to be able to take pictures of the Pokemon in the wild. Because I don't know if you guys remember, was it April Fool's this year? They did Pokemon Google Maps. And like you can look at Google Maps and go to specific locations and like collect the Pokemon.
I vaguely remember
Yeah, so
hearing
this just
about that.
expands
I got
on
put
that.
it in the end of the game. That's not fair.
On the wide cam, what you guys are seeing here is a flashback to childhood. The
Whoa,
Sohinkis
flashback?
fighting
This
each
is
other.
what
No.
they do anyways.
Actually,
Yeah.
in childhood, what happened was they would hog. So the reason that I started playing multiplayer games mainly is they would hog the games when we would rent them or buy them or whatever. So that, and I would have to watch. So then all that was left to do was the multiplayer because I already watched the whole story. Why would I play through it myself? so that's why I'm better than him.
Okay.
That's debatable.
actually,
Wreckaroni.
It's why he has a try-hard complex is
That's
because
true.
we used to destroy him at everything.
wait a second. This actually.
I used to beat you at
I
everything.
think this is an opportunity to get a second side of a story.
Yes.
Some hardcore Smosh Games fans might have heard a story about Sohinki turning off Toe Jam and Earl while his
No, I
two
told
brothers,
I told his side of the story.
Yeah, he ruined it.
Yeah, I ruined
My
it.
So,
cousin and I played this game.
Start from the beginning, Brohinky. Set us up for those who don't know the Toe Jam and Earl story.
So, I hope at least a lot of
damn.
people know what Toe Jam and Earl is, but it was
Dear God, I hope so.
right, exactly. But it's a very long game that has no saves, as far as I can remember. My cousin and I used to play it all the time, never get to the end, always lose, and then one day we decided, all right, we're just going to play this all day until we beat it. So we played the game the entire day up until dinner, and our parents called us to the kitchen for dinner. We paused the game where we were very close to the end, came back, and the game was not on anymore.
What was going through your mind at that exact moment?
Are you a psychologist right now?
I'm very curious. I now get to hear the other side.
I recall as much rage as I had been able to muster in my life. Pretty much all of that combined was how I felt when my Toe Jam and Earl got turned off, and
I'm pretty sure they used a Game Genie, though.
there's no way there was Game Genie involved. That is
Game
some
Genie was
BS
only Super Nintendo.
right
It wasn't
there.
Genesis,
No,
was
it
it?
was
I think it was
No, it was-
Genesis.
In fact,
too.
there was a cartridge
It was
on
Game
Genesis
Shark. It
that
was
you
Game
could
that you
Shark.
could put other
you could
ones
plug
in. Yeah.
games
Game Shark.
into the Game Shark.
Yeah, but there was no Game Genie involved in this Toe Jam and Earl experience.
No Game Genie.
Yeah,
Maybe a
no
Game
Game Genie.
Yeah,
So
Maybe a
Game
Game Shark.
it was a very upsetting experience,
And
and
so you find out that your little brother is a horrible person and turned off the game. Then what do?
Did you beat him? I would have
I
got
don't even
beat.
remember. Did we
My
fight
bigger
about
brother-
this, or was I just really sad?
No, I think I told you I reset it because I don't remember what it was, but I was pissed at you for something. It's
That
possible
makes
that it was
sense.
just for hogging the Genesis.
Right.
I was mad at you for something,
Was this
and
when-
so I intentionally reset it. And then when you came back, I told you I reset it.
Okay.
And I was like,
But
"What
did we
what's-
fight?
I was
I
like,
can't
"What's up
remember.
now? What's up now?" That's what I.
I don't
didn't-
think you did that.
No, I didn't. I just.
And then they beat him up.
Was this when we had Sega
he hit
Channel?
me.
Was this Sega
But like,
Channel?
here's the thing: is he would hit
He got
me.
hit a lot.
He would
so-
hit me, but like he would never hit me in the face. He'd just like
Yeah.
pound my back or my stomach or something.
Yeah,
You know
he was
where it
like
won't
show
leave first.
visible
He was like
marks.
hitting. Yeah, it's like an abusive
Yeah.
boyfriend. It's
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna hit you anywhere it shows.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
He just wants to do internal damage.
Right.
So actually, let this be a life lesson here. When you're really angry at someone, 20 years down the road, you won't remember why you were angry at them. You'll just remember what you did to them.
Yes.
So don't act on that anger
Yeah.
Right.
because you'll get beat up.
In the meantime,
Or if
I'm-
you do, make sure the bruises are not visible.
Yes,
That's the
that's
A
real lesson
bag
to
of
take from here.
oranges or a phone book
Really?
work really
Bag
well.
of
Really?
oranges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So these
Just
are
FYI.
these are
All
tricks
right,
that
thanks, Jason,
even
for that
I was not
information.
aware of.
Back to the news. Something else that was announced today. I'm actually on my phone for this one because there's a fun
Yeah.
list.
I'm learning that I can't talk and play at the same time.
Right.
That's really upsetting.
Grand Theft Auto continuing to put out free DLC. Now this game has been out for over a year, a little less than a year on PC, but still producing free DLC. So every other company, take note, free DLC for their multiplayer maps. This one is actually not just adding new modes or guns, but actually adding a in-game multiplayer experience that's already inside of a multiplayer experience. What it is, instead of going into lobbies
There's
to...
still 3 minutes left.
I hate you.
What's going
are
on
you
here?
winning? Is that why you're interrupting?
He's
me?
winning
It's
8-1.
8-1.
He's winning
He's
8
lost.
It's
to
8-1?
1.
All right.
Getting
Keep
destroyed.
it down over there. I'm talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. Anyway, so what's going to happen now is you can be in free play,
no.
and a section of the map will
did
start
that
to
happen?
glow, and you'll get different
Fine.
game
Very different
modes
way.
that will open up. So you don't have to worry about waiting in lobbies or trying to get your friends together. It'll just start, kind of like a gang fight starts in the free roam map. You can now go into these different modes. And these modes are absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to play.
I anticipated what you were going to do.
Like, we have a
and it
show on
didn't matter.
Smosh Games, Grand Theft Smosh, and I can't wait to do these with the entire group. Maybe
Will
we
it-
can even do something special where
Will
we get
it
like a
be
bunch of people in.
smoother? Will we be able to?
No,
Get the
this will probably make it even more difficult to get online.
I guess that.
I just continue
For
to
anyone
score
that
my
was-
brother.
For anyone
That's
that was watching, yeah, that's hilarious.
What did you just do?
So the play before, he had paused right before the
Are
ball.
you just scoring on him in one
Yeah.
hit now?
Well, I've just driven into my goal.
He paused right before the
Laughing
ball
over
sped out, hit it into him, and then he would score. So I anticipated that, so I just waited, and then I see him fly over the ball.
That's me. All right, well, back to my news about new game modes in Grand Theft Auto. One of them is called Penned In. Now, this is a vehicular action. That's a very fun word to say. Vehicular
Why do you
mode,
sound like you're struggling?
where you have a giant portion of the map that's
fun
open,
for him.
and you have to stay in your car. And the map is constantly moving and shrinking at the same time.
So it's speedrunners.
It's yes. I was gonna go with Mad Max meets speedrunners. Like, yeah, that works. So you have to stay into the map but constantly moving. So a fast car is key. A car that won't get destroyed is key. And bumping your friends off the freeway, very important. So that just sounds like a lot of fun.
This just seems like it's taking like that black wall of death that we used to deal with in earlier video games.
Yes!
And
We
utilizing
had to like
it
keep
as a
moving or you get
mechanic.
eaten off the screen, which
I don't
is
know
fantastic.
if I like. No, that's.
It's gonna
That's
add a lot of anxiety. It's like
traumatizing.
imagine like it's just like it's this big on the map, and you're just like, oh, can't stop moving. What?
That seems traumatizing.
Next, another mode will be criminal damage, which is full destructibility. It's not exactly you against another player combat-wise, but it's who can rack up the most damage. So destroy cars, destroy. Actually, all you can really destroy in the car is cars. Maybe they're going to add building destruction. Because that would be fantastic. I don't see why every game doesn't have that. Hunt the Beast is just pretty much a juggernaut game mode. Challenges like longest jump are being added. How about a kill list? A car will pop up on the screen, and everyone has to then go get that car, retrieve it, and bring it to a location. Okay. So it's a glorified simian mission.
It's capture the flag.
Also, speaking of capture the flag, there's kind of like that. There's a King of the Castle mode.
Okay.
So think your standard King of the Hill mode, where you want to take over a specific area and hold it for as long as you can. But now it's going to be a building or a location. So in the trailer, it looks amazing because there's a guy on a turret shooting people as they come up, and then someone flies in on a parachute, shoots him, and then like takes the spot. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Hot property players compete to control possession of a briefcase.
It seems like they're just taking like first-person shooter modes and like
adding them for everyone to use.
into
I think
GTA.
that's fantastic. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna add a lot of life. Maybe I don't know if you guys are still playing GTA Online, but I think that free play needs a lot of help just to stay entertaining. Because now you have people that are just leveled too high. But then again, there's also no there's no matchmaking system. So if you go into if you're in free play and then all of a sudden it's King of the Castle and you're like, oh, I want to do this, but there's a guy up top that has like level 99 and is just using a tank or something to kill you, then you're screwed. So hopefully there's some balancing issues. Also, these are for free play mode. I hope that you can open up a lobby with your friends and just invite them to play these specific games. I hope that's the case. I really, really hope that's the case. Rockstar likes to make life really difficult for us. When trying to play that game, it's difficult to get in the same servers, or you can't always keep a group together. So hopefully they make this right. Also, more guns, please. Please, more guns. I want that. But now let's get to the portion of the... Honestly, I'd be reading and saying hello to viewers, but I can't get comments in this video. But what I can do is... there's some comments that are here from earlier, so I can just say hi to... Kathleen Atkins, Nutmeg217, Howdy Diego. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch live. We actually didn't even know if we were going to be able to do this today because the internet in the building was being a little wonky.
There was
it's been great.
There was a final score of 13-5.
13-5. But you scored 5 times.
But I was getting the hang of it towards the end, and it will be much closer next time. Guaranteed.
To wrap up the news, I think some big things in the news to really talk about is that there is a show that you guys might not be watching that you should be watching. It's called Unpopular Kids, where the host is very handsome and he goes over all the popular news from the week.
Yeah, I am guest starring on the show.
Actually,
this week, so.
not right now. The episode that goes up tomorrow will be starring Sohinki which
Starring. I just said guest star.
Yeah. No, he's going to be starring it.
What would be
also,
topics of conversation?
I have some great top 5s on the Jovenshire channel, like top 5 messed up Disney princesses or top 5 fixes for the Xbox
These
One.
aren't news.
This is news.
There's another news item where Sohinki streams on Twitch.tv.
Yes, he does that
Tuesday through Thursday.
Every Tuesday through Thursday.
6 p.m.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Till
it's not
whenever.
very good.
It's not
pretty long,
It's not that
drawn out.
entertaining.
He's
Everyone
kind
that,
of quiet, but he knows what he's doing.
everyone that chats in my chat, like some of them are pretty weird.
And don't you do a song every time someone subs or something?
Oh,
There's
it
a song
sings.
like-
It sings the Sohinki D song.
Can we get a tease
Shout
of
out
that?
to Sohinki. Well, Flitz isn't here.
Oh yeah, we can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I guess if you want to hear the
Yeah.
song, you have to then sub to his Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Also in the news was the Jimmy Kimmel fiasco. I don't think anyone talked about it last week.
No,
I
I don't think so.
I just want to touch on this a little bit because I know a lot of you guys heard about it. 2 weeks ago, Jimmy Kimmel put out a video where he's a comedian, so he cracked a few jokes on YouTube Gaming, the live streaming
He's
thing
also like a part of the generation that doesn't
Exactly.
do this kind of thing.
So he was attacked in the comments. A lot of mean comments were directed towards him and his family and his pets that he doesn't even own because he made fun of people watching people play video games on YouTube. Which
exactly
his
what
jokes
you guys are doing
weren't
right now.
even insulting. Like they weren't insulting. It was a funny observation that he had in a small sketch.
The one thing that he said that you could have taken as an insult if you're younger is like, oh, if you watch video games on YouTube, your parents failed you or something
Yeah,
like that. Which
but
is like
also relaxed,
something
though.
that people say about anything.
Yeah, maybe just playing too much video games or not enough education. Like
If I hadn't gotten this job, my mom would have thought she failed me.
yeah.
She probably would
But
have.
the thing was, he was attacked verbally in the text, and then he did more videos where he was then reading off the angry comments, which is a little one-sided because I went through the comments, and there were a lot of comments then trying to
Be constructive.
and like help explain why people watch these videos. There's even a YouTuber who did a video that really broke down the psychology of why people watch gaming videos on YouTube. The YouTuber was the Jovenshire. Wonderful video. It's getting a lot of attention right now. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out.
That's why he's plugging it.
The video does break down exactly why people watch gaming videos.
What's the psychology of it?
It's
Yeah.
Give
actually
you a live version.
Dr. Joven,
I
give
will
us
give
your
you a
information
tease because
right
I
now.
would want you to go see the video, but it breaks down the connection that people feel with YouTubers and why an audience has that specific connection versus myself being a fan of Jim Carrey as an actor, but I don't have a connection with him. There's no friendship there. So
Well,
I don't
that's
feel
because
attached.
So are
he
you
hasn't
saying that the
opened the door
games-
for you to be friends with him.
Exactly. And so that was a big deal. And then the whole Jimmy Kimmel fiasco wrapped up with him going to visit Mrs. May and Markiplier at the Maker Studios, which...
And I don't mean this as a slight or an offensive thing at all. I honestly, before that, didn't know who Mrs. May was.
I didn't either. I being honest, there's a lot of very talented YouTubers that we don't get the chance to watch all of them. But so you had Mrs. May and Markiplier. It was just an awkward video.
I only saw the first minute, and it felt like Markiplier didn't really...
It felt the way I described it was
Want to-
Markiplier wasn't being Markiplier, he was being Mark, and he was just yeah.
Because like he seemed like Jimmy was like trying to crack jokes right off the bat, and then Mark was taking it
They
like,
were very
really
tamed.
serious.
And I think if you asked any other YouTuber about the situation, we don't care what Jimmy Kimmel said. It's kind of true. Like sometimes I don't understand why people watch like people that stream a video game but then just don't talk. They're just playing a video game. And like that doesn't make any sense to me.
But wait. Doesn't that somewhat go back to what Sohinki was saying he had to put up with as a child, where his brother and his cousin would be playing a video game and he'd have to sit there and watch it for the storyline because he wasn't allowed to play.
Yeah,
Now, granted, in this situation, that person that's sitting at home watching might be able to go out and play. But I think there was a lot of kids that grew up watching other
And
people
look how
play
expensive
video
a video
games.
game
And
is.
I've
Yeah, maybe they can't
definitely-
afford a $60 game.
Like,
Yeah.
the
Plus
one,
$80 if you're looking
right.
at DLC.
so
also.
the price, sometimes it's a lazy thing. like, I don't want to actually play through this game myself. I don't care enough, but I do like the story. Like, when the WoW expansion came out, Warlords of Draenor, I was like, there's no way I'm getting back into WoW. Absolutely not. I refuse. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that to myself again. There's videos on YouTube where I can just watch the story unfold.
But
Yeah.
do you watch those?
But did you watch this? No,
I
was it like
avoid
cutscenes or was it
that stuff because it will make me want to play.
I didn't-
If I see like raid bosses that are really cool, I'd
see,
be like, I want to play, but
I
I'm
didn't
like,
watch
no.
that kind of stuff. It was like, you know, the cinematics and.
Okay.
Yeah, but you weren't watching a Let's Player.
I've
do the
watched
video.
Let's Plays before, like, God, what did I watched a Jesse Cox Let's Play of, God. Oh.
Well, again, Jesse Cox isn't just a Let's Player. Like, he's an entertainer. And like when I watch Jesse,
But he is a Let's Player in the truest sense of like he plays through the game. He never talks like during like cutscenes and stuff. Like, in fact, his commentary is like, he's one of the only people that I'll watch where I'm entertained even though he's not talking that much.
yeah, he's funny. You select what you say, and then you say it, and it's funny. Whereas on Smosh Games, sometimes we just continue to speak, and
Even though we have nothing to say.
yeah, and then we just use post-production and editing to pick out the funny parts and keep that all together.
Yeah.
But essentially with Jimmy Kimmel, there's two things to note. One, he is I'm going to say an older male. He's in his 40s. He's a comedian, and his main demographic is an older audience that doesn't understand why people watch people play video games. So he was making a joke to that audience, and everyone else who got butthurt shouldn't have. Like, I'm sorry you found it offensive. Don't lash out to people. Which takes me to the second point of what we should take from that video. Don't say mean things on the internet. Like, there are some people that do it just for the sake of being able to have some chaos and contribute to it, and it's horrible. It leads to a very bad community, and it puts a very bad image for not only YouTubers, but the other YouTube audience members. We will never be taken seriously as long as you have situations like this arise where people are just horrible people. Like, it's just not
But
gonna
I
be
got to
good.
get my stress out somehow.
Yeah, you squeeze a doll. Squeeze a doll.
Yeah.
Or a
Dog?
Doll.
A dog.
Doll.
A dog.
Don't squeeze a dog unless you're giving them hugs.
Yeah, I don't. It comes down like people really want to feel like they're part of something, but I think that comes from like insecurity. Like growing up, you want to feel like you're part of a group doing something, accomplishing something, whatever the case may be. But I think what you learn when you mature is like it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Like, people don't have to know your opinions and your beliefs. You can just know them yourself and like be cool and comfortable with yourself. It doesn't have to be this thing where it's like I'm making my opinions known all the time. Like,
And if someone makes a joke about not understanding something, maybe the best approach isn't to say you're a horrible person for not understanding this, but maybe help them understand it. That's not a bad
with
thing
your
either.
fists and anger.
Or, make a YouTube video that gets uploaded to youtube.com/the Jovenshire, then you watch exactly why people watch people playing video game videos.
Chaos is good.
I thought that channel was dead.
No, the Jovenshire is alive and well. It has a great show on it called Unpopular Kids, #Unpopular Kids. So that's the news that happened in the last week. Now, for today's topic, how much time? What time are we at right now?
3:30.
3:30. So for the second half of the show, I want to go over when people think of having a career in YouTube. Sometimes they
what?
just think a career in YouTube.
Okay.
Sometimes they think I want to become a YouTuber. I'm going to make a YouTube channel and make videos on it, and I'm going to be rich and famous. Well, that's not always the case.
Yeah, just look at youtube.com/the Jovenshire.
Yeah, not at all rich or
Struggling
famous.
channel.
They can't. It's dead.
It's not dead.
The channel's dead.
Struggling real hard.
But I want to look at, there's careers in the field of new media that are more than just, I'm a YouTuber. Now, we have, what you guys, is there a comment? there?
There's
He's
a
looking-
question.
he's
There's a
looking
good
for
question.
questions.
There's a question regarding YouTube. Someone asked if you guys refer to your YouTube careers as a success already.
And do you
Or-
believe that the way your life evolved is good for other reasons too, or only for your personal interest for video games?
Right, but I would say, like, do you consider it a success yet, or do you still feel like there's a lot more for you to do before you
okay.
consider it a success?
That's a great question. I think that's something that actually all four of us could answer. Myself, I am successful up to this point. That could all change tomorrow, which is always fun and scary.
Yeah,
but at the
just
same
look
time,
at youtube.com/the Struggling channel.
but
Not doing well at all.
I'm also a personality that wants to continue to do more. Like, I constantly update a 5-year plan so that there's something to strive for.
He
That's
doesn't
more.
follow the plan.
No, that's why it's constantly changing. Duh.
I
But
have like a
we're doing well, but we can always do better in life.
I have like a 5-day plan.
Not
More
die.
like what I do. No, yeah, I'm where you're at. It's like the things are going well right now, and I try not to. I try to have a general idea of like these are the things that I should be concerned with going forward for maybe 5 years from now or whatever. Like where a general idea of like kind of where I want to be. Like I want to be making this much money and in this kind of a position and et cetera, et cetera. But I think when you get too specific, you get in trouble because you like close yourself off to other opportunities and that kind of thing. So like my whole thing has been like, I think it's a decent idea to have a general idea of where you want to be and like have a general 5-year plan. But I think it's more important to just focus on the thing that you're doing right now specifically so you can be the best at that. And being the best that you can be in the moment will lead to positive things 5 years from now.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, as I was just explaining, that there's more jobs in this field than just being a YouTuber. Now, you guys are producers, and Jason, you started off as a content manager. Taking the same question, where do you guys see yourself in the midst of new media?
I mean, I want to produce more than what I am right now. Like right now I'm doing for SGA all the community management stuff and tech support and things like that, and a lot of fan interaction with Flitz, which is awesome. But my ultimate goal is to continue doing that, but also to get more into production, more into the creative side. Never really had that much interest in being on camera, but I'd love to.
Get out. Go.
I know,
Just,
right?
What are you doing right now?
I should leave right now.
We forced
Who
you to
invited
be
I
you?
was forced, pretty much.
You
to
should
do
go
this.
on
No,
youtube.com/the Jovenshire.
there. Nobody will watch you that way.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So okay,
perfect.
so yeah, so I can
Go
just
watch YouTube.com/.
try. But yeah, anyway, but like to do more creative stuff behind the scenes, like ideating around shows and shooting shows and things like that.
So would you say that in the field of calling
Say
it
hi,
new media,
Will, and I just got calls coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter the Epic.
Hi,
Say
Hunter
hi
the
to
Epic.
Joven and Lasercorn for me, and Mara. You guys are the best and my favorite. Sorry, Sohinki.
Awesome.
gotta
It's
happen.
fine. It's fine.
Can't be everyone's favorite.
I haven't uploaded a video on my YouTube channel in months. So
But
that's
he's on
true.
Twitch every Tuesday through Thursday.
This is true, and I'm going to start uploading on my YouTube again. I just don't want to. Like, I committed to it before. I was like, I'm relaunching the channel, and then I was like, oh yeah, I have no time. So I want to like really hammer out a plan, a 5-day plan.
A 5-day plan?
No, I really want to hammer out a plan for like actually how I'm going to make sure that once I commit to it again, which people probably don't even believe me at this point, but when I finally commit to it again, like, yes, here's the channel, it's happening again, I can do consistent content every week, so I need to plan it out.
Now,
Do you think he's going to be able to? Should we
Well,
take
honestly-
bets on this?
No, I have,
what
I,
I'm
have
very-
I have a plan I've talked
I'm very excited for Sohinki, and I don't know, we're probably still keeping things secret right now, but you have plans that aren't just YouTube stuff that you hopefully in the next year will be able to do. So there's, as a YouTuber, there's still more that you can do in just finding projects and keeping yourself creative. That I think we're going to see some very exciting things from Sohinki.
But and
in the
those
next
things
6
will also be available on YouTube when they happen.
Yes. What's really important is
Wait, are these legal? Are you like setting up a crime spree or something?
It's
and
all,
expecting it to show up
It's all
on YouTube?
it's donkey shows. It's,
Oh,
you'll see.
I wasn't even thinking that. I
news
was thinking
popping
like
up on
rob a bank
YouTube.
or something.
No, it's even.
You're going to see me on CNN for robbing a bank.
But something to be very careful about, especially in new media, is because there's so many opportunities and there's so many ways to be creative. Don't find yourself in the trap where you're going to say that you're going to do all this stuff and then come up with all these great ideas. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I'm going to do this. And then not do any of it. If you set a list, get one thing done. Then get another thing done.
Yeah.
Then get another thing done. So for me, it was like, all right, Smosh Games is doing great. All right, now I want to start doing like every week top 5s and vlogs. All right, got that done. Now I want to launch a bigger show on Popular Kids that you can find on youtube.com/the Jovenshire. And so just don't find yourself in that trap.
What channel was that?
YouTube.com/the Jovenshire. It's not
Okay.
dead yet.
I'm not dead.
Not dead yet.
I'm 37. I'm not old.
But so Jason, you and I have known each other for a few years now, not just in the Smosh family.
We love
Yeah.
And
you.
we've seen lots of different jobs in the new media world. How would you describe your path so far and also where you want to go?
Well, I originally came out to LA to explore more traditional
And define
media.
me.
And define Joshua. Who knew?
It's a very religious experience for some people.
Yeah. Anyways, I came out here
Anyway.
to. I studied mainly writing and acting in both film and theater. Came out here, have experience on set, doing stuff. But when I first got out here, I needed a job, so I started working for a university that has a school program out here. And then after about 2 years of that, I wanted to move into more of a production space. And Joshua had told me that that Smosh Games was looking for more help here. So I came in as a channel manager, which that's a lot of like analytical stuff as well as helping to schedule their shoots and keep them on track so that videos didn't keep going up late.
Sorry about all those late videos back in the day. Jason really helped us fix that.
Yeah, but we were right when Smosh Games started, it was only Laserborn and I editing. You edited some, but you handled more of the
logistics,
and
analytics.
Yeah, so he did more of the back end stuff.
I did all the work that made it sound like I was doing a lot of work.
Well, but you did. Whenever there was a problem, Joven was the one that got yelled at because
that's very easy to do.
We put him in the position where he was talking to the people that would get mad at us. So he shielded us from anger when every video went up late, and we just edited everything for 80 hours a week.
Those were the very crazy hours. But then as we became more successful, then we had room and budget to be able to bring in a crew. And this is a completely different tangent, perhaps, for another episode. That's why brand deals are always a good thing. Don't get mad at people for doing brand deals, because there's a crew that goes behind working on a YouTube channel. That is not just the YouTuber. That's why there's so many different career opportunities in new media.
Unless you're PewDiePie for the longest time, then he finally got someone to help him.
Which even still, the amount of work that man does just in 1 week is astonishing. And Jason, you said that you started in content management, which was a lot of analytical and a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. I did. I was a content manager for Clever Movies. And then I weaseled my way on camera there.
That was every single job we were at. Joven was hired to do something that wasn't on camera.
And then
he found his way on there.
Yeah, because even at the very first company where we all
So be
met,
persistent.
Yes.
Right.
That's what pays off.
Persistency is key.
Not talent.
Persistency.
Not
Persistence.
talent.
Not talent.
No, persistence.
Just persistence.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of talent. I've definitely proved that. But going back to content
Just look
management,
at youtube.com/thejovenshire.
there is great quality content.
I keep getting
there.
error 404.
The site is not dead. But content management and analytics is a very important part of the job that is necessary in many different companies. Understanding what helps a YouTube video do well is very key. If you can learn how to do that, you're going to have a much easier time finding a job anywhere.
Someone asked, did you guys ever think Smosh Games would become this popular? And the answer is, we didn't know. We knew that we knew that we were working with some popular dudes who were very talented, and we knew that they were going to do everything they could to help us, but they had launched several other channels that didn't get to the point that they wanted us to get at.
I think when we launched, we saw a show of cartoons, and that was at the time, 500,000 subscribers, 600,000.
Like,
so
man,
like,
if we could
cool.
get there, like,
because
that'd be great.
our first channel, Clever Games, maybe 100,000, almost.
No, when we stopped doing Clever and we moved over to start working full time on Smosh Games, I think it was at like 93,000.
Yeah, never hit that 100,000.
And then it got over 100,000 because of the video that Smosh did with us on our
right.
channel.
Um,
But with the thing we were blown away completely. We
weren't ready for that.
We weren't ready for the kind of success at all that we got.
In fact, people
we were
warned us.
sitting there. He did a little short vlog on like your personal channel.
That's right.
I think
was
it
it?
was like he was just like we were refreshing the page and it would jump up like 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, just like Control R, Control R, Control R.
We had like 50K subs in like an hour or something insane.
If that. I think we actually hold a YouTube record for fastest growing to 2 million. We had fastest growing to a million.
We were fastest channel to 2 million subs.
Which I think we still have.
From launch to 2 million.
Yes.
So other channels have grown faster than us, but they didn't reach it. It was more. They had more like overnight success, where it was like ours was more of a steady build. So it was like they were doing their channel for years or something, and then all of a sudden something hit, and boom, they shot up.
Yeah, that kind of. For me, as I was trying to figure out that thought, for me, we hit 2 million fairly quickly in like a week or something.
Down, it felt like.
And then I thought, like, all right, cool, this is our life now. 2 million subscribers, this is absolutely unbelievable, and it's amazing. This is what we have. But now, since then, being over 6 million now, coming up to a 3-year anniversary for Smosh Games, the opportunities that we've had, I had no clue that we'd ever have this. I was on a road trip through Europe. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to go to Europe yet, but that's my fault.
Yeah, you should maybe get your passport together.
I just put in my application.
Oh, you did?
I actually
Yay!
Yeah. Now I can visit Europe people.
So
you can go to Canada.
And Asia people. No, I've been to Canada, but that's I'm kidding. I went to Canada when you didn't need a passport to go to Canada.
Right, yeah,
you used to
same.
just need your driver's license and a birth certificate. I
might be going
I
to
think you
Canada
still
in a few
don't
weeks.
need one.
No, you do now.
No, you
Really?
do now. There's only like a couple states that you can get by without having a passport.
I think my buddy from Canada went to Vegas without a passport. Like flew into Vegas.
That makes sense.
recently.
It's the city
I'm
of sin.
not positive about that, but I think that's what he told me. I don't know.
And again, keep sending those questions. Bro,
Yes.
Hinky, if you see anything in, please interrupt.
What are some of the best and worst ways in which you think games have evolved from when you started playing them?
Jump scares. I think jump scares are a very easy tactic to throw into a scary video game. And I don't, you'll get a jump out of me because it's a jump scare, it's startling, you don't expect it. But I remember the time of scary video games. That's not of like anticipation and
Getting chased by ghosts while you're trying to get a fresh meal, like maybe cherries.
And wow.
Apple.
Okay,
orange.
you're old, Jason.
What?
You're like, I hate that so much.
But they weren't ghosts until you got the fruit
No, they were always
or the
ghosts.
Right.
the pellet.
They were always ghosts. You just couldn't eat them. And, yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
One thing that I think the greatest accomplishment over the evolution of gaming, in my opinion, is voice acting in video games. This has doubled the amount of voiceover jobs, and it's expanded what we can do with a story. There's no longer just reading text and like trying to scroll through
There's
with
actually
the A
like
button.
actors starring in video games until dawn.
Which is amazing.
Motion
Indie
capture.
developers.
Beyond Two Souls.
For example, if I was ever, I would love to voice over for video games. Indie developers. That's a shout out to you right there.
They're
Also
not watching.
myself. I would
They're
like to
not
do it.
watching this.
All right,
right now.
everyone, tweet your favorite indie developer. Sohinki
Sohin-
and myself
at
would like to
Sohinki.
be would like to voice their video game. Anyways, I think that's one of the greatest accomplishments in the evolution of video games.
I can do.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Dark Souls 3. I'm the Jovenshire.
Why do
Get
they
ready
need
to
a
get
host?
so angry.
None of the VO is gonna be a
It's
host.
I think he was being facetious, though it's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, it could happen.
I think he might not know what facetious means.
No, I do. I love creatures of the sea. So, Inky, what do you think are the greatest and worst evolutions?
The 20th sequel to video games coming out.
Okay.
That's frustrating.
Well, I think that replaced franchises. Like, how many Mario games were there?
Oh yeah, no, but
Are there?
yeah,
Are there?
Nintendo's like a different breed
Yeah.
of thing.
Um,
I don't know.
Crash Bandicoot.
So there's endless sequels to games that don't need them. How about
Okay.
that? Like a Call of Duty.
Okay.
Call of Duty.
I mean,
Call of
Madden's been doing this
And-
forever.
and
Those
many-
aren't sequels.
That's called a cash grab. Many people will disagree with me, but Halo, like.
But
stop.
Halo,
At least
like
they're advancing
Assassin's
the
Creed, is
story
advancing the story and
yeah.
sometimes giving you a different take in the universe.
Mhm.
Whereas
every Call of Duty game is basically the same, but with some cooler stuff added.
that's not saying that I don't enjoy the story of a Call of Duty game.
The story of the Call of Duty game is also always the same, but it's like a really. I mean, it's the same in the same way that every Die Hard movie is. It's
Which
like
I never mind.
They do a good job with the set pieces every time.
yeah,
Like,
but
it's
they're
not-
the same
Right,
ones.
yeah, uh-huh.
It's just like in a different setting.
Right.
It's like yours is the vehicle level and the slow motion breach. Wow, lasers this time.
And what would you say is the a good evolution
I
that we've
think
seen?
the storytelling in general. I think, especially like directors are starting to realize that video games are like a cool outlet for their creativity and
Guillermo
stuff.
del Toro,
Yeah.
People-
Silent Hill. Cough, cough.
Yeah, that's sad. Do you see? I didn't play through the game, but in Metal Gear Solid, there's the PT Easter egg.
Oh, is there? I know I haven't seen
yeah,
that yet.
the crazy woman from PT like comes out.
That's funny.
Yeah. Storytelling in general, I think has gotten to a point where it's just like incredible. It's like why would it's getting to the point where it's like, man, why do I watch a movie anymore? Unless it's like, you know, something you're looking forward to a lot. But it's like the game is just a much more interactive, cool experience. And the cool thing about video games is it offers a more like a wider variety of ways to tell a story, because it's like, here's this very long form 20-hour, 50-hour thing where you're engaged in the story the whole time. Like a movie can't do that. Or here's this very tight 5-hour game that is basically a movie, or at least like the story's as tight and as short as a movie that you can play through in an afternoon if you're really committed to it. So yeah, I think the storytelling.
There you go.
is awesome.
And Brohinky and Jason Parker, what do you over the game?
The best and worst thing at the same time is DLC. Because
yeah,
in my
That's-
opinion,
that's
like
really well put.
I love being able to add to games like features, or if I like party games like Rock Band, that I can download new music and like just continue to make the game fresh or whatever. But then also it turns into a nickel and diming like cash grab from some
It
companies.
then becomes like
Unless
essential
you're
to get
awesome
Day 1
like
DLC.
Rockstar.
Well,
Right.
yes, going back to the
Free
beginning of the
DLC.
show,
Right.
free
some,
DLC
some
for an
people
entire
do it
year and a
right,
half.
which is why I say it's the best and the worst thing,
Yeah.
because depending on how you use it.
It's like,
It's-
hey, if you made like over $1 billion on your game, hey, how about some free DLC for that game?
Yeah, but so for free DLC, I don't necessarily think that's the best way to go with it either. I hate when you have to
It's
pay
almost
for
like
DLC.
you have an
Wait,
unpopular opinion.
almost. I hate when you have DLC that you have to pay for that doesn't seem like it's worth the money. However, by charging people for DLC, that means that they can keep developers on staff on that game longer and keep paying them to come up with more
and that's
creative
if they
stuff.
and
to
that's
put
if they
into
do
that
that,
game.
because there's lots of games
Correct.
that you pay for DLC and it's like the season pass where you get like maybe 4 months and it's done.
DLC has
Yeah.
also like really kind of like in a way screwed those people that like release yearly games, because every review now is like, this just feels like it's DLC.
Yeah, that's really funny.
which is
Yeah.
awesome, because screw those people that are listening here.
I think to go along with the voice acting in video games now,
Fail-fish.
the mocap in video games has come along.
That- yeah.
is a great thing.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
come a long way, because I mean it didn't exist before. You didn't have Mario outside running.
It's
Well,
come a
face
long way.
capture. Yeah, it has come a long way.
Yeah.
Only like face capture, because you'll have like for one character, you'll have a voice actor for them and a body.
Right, but I'm saying
But
like
there's a new-
it's great that it's here, but I'm like, it's not a huge evolution.
Yeah.
From
Well, the
it, because
technology now.
they didn't introduce it until their technology was already pretty decent on
Yeah.
that stuff.
Well,
But they still use like the focal point
Yep.
technology with the balls, but like for I think it was for Beyond Two Souls was the first time they used it. It was they still had some of that equipment, but there's also like a camera that they were just using to
I
capture
think
everything.
Exactly.
5. No, Resident Evil 5 added a in-game camera for cinematics, but they actually put someone in a 360 room with a camera, and then they could move around and see everything. That was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
But so as we go into the last few minutes of the episode, I want to kind of go back to the overall theme for today's show, which was jobs in new media that just aren't YouTuber. And so I kind of want to go down the panel here and go over some interesting jobs that you think are important and what people can do to maybe prepare and get that job in the future.
What job in what field? Sorry,
in new media.
In new media.
For example, if you like, as you make your own YouTube videos and you get better at editing, there might be other YouTubers that need an editor, or a larger company like that may need an editor. So you might start on camera as a YouTuber, but they can take your editing skills and then make other YouTube videos for a larger company.
I got my first job doing YouTube stuff because I knew how to edit.
There you go.
Straight up. I think there's a lot of applicable things that you learn when you go to like film school, for instance, because you learn about lighting and audio and what a good shot looks like, and editing, and you learn all the aspects of it, and you might eventually specialize in something for a degree if you're just going to a straight up film school. I had more of a general degree. My degree is in television, radio, and film, so I sort of got a little bit of everything, but yeah, I think the other thing. So here's my best advice is when I went to school, people were like, "Oh, it's good to be well-rounded," but then when I was actually looking for a job, what I found out was people were looking for very specific things. So the well-rounded thing in practicality is just not true anymore. I don't think.
Be well-rounded, but when you put your resume together, keep focus on one aspect.
Yeah, if you're applying for an editing job, make it seem like you're specialized in editing. If you're applying for a producer job, make sure you make it seem like you're specialized.
Being good in production will make you a better editor, but when you're doing your reel or your resume, focus just on the job that you want.
Unless your most impressive job is like doing this other thing and you can kind of spin it somehow, it's like all your editing and things are these independent films, but I worked on blank movie as this, and it looks really good.
Right. You were going to say something?
I was just going to say, so to Joshua's point of specialize your resume to whatever the job is you're applying for, even if you are like Sohinki, where he got a general feel of everything in the film industry, you really want to still focus it when you are sending it out to who's ever going to look at that resume.
Fantastic.
It's know your audience. Even when it comes to resumes, you need to write for your audience.
Here's another thing. Don't get intimidated when applying for a job. Apply for everything, because the point of a job posting a lot of times is to weed out people that aren't sure of themselves, because it's like, you must be this experienced and be a rock star. And first of all, don't apply to a place that says looking for a rock star, because they probably suck.
Do you remember 5 years ago when everyone was looking for a social media rock star?
Social media rock star.
And everyone put on the resume, I'm a social media rock star, I know how to use Twitter. Ugh!
Right.
If someone says looking for a rock star for blank, don't apply to that job, because they're probably douchebags.
Yeah.
But also, every job posting says that, so you got to apply to some of them.
Right. So to wrap this up, we only have a minute or two left. What are other unique jobs that may not be production-based in the new media field that you guys can think of that might apply to our audience?
So pretty much one way to look at it is, as more and more big money studios... What? Oh, you're just pointing out that the camera's right here. Yeah, so over here now. So pretty much think of it as more and more money comes into new media spaces. And by new media, I also mean Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, all that is still considered new media space. Studios are moving into those spots just as YouTube grows as well. Pretty much any types of jobs that you would think are out there for television studios, film studios. This includes their advertising teams, their marketing teams, their social.
There's just some
You're
really
gonna-
inappropriate comments
You can
happening.
use that for YouTube as well, like in new media. They will need those positions. What about the
Sorry,
comments
Jason.
that you're,
What
like,
Jason is
cracking
saying
up
is
about?
absolutely amazing and
it's
very
very
important
great advice.
information.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
apologize
Being
for some little
distracted
outburst.
No, there was some comments happening.
All right. Well, speaking of comments, as we wrap up the show, thanks to Brohinky.
Wait,
What?
I need to do shout outs.
I was going to lead into this.
All right, let's
Yeah.
do it. All right.
So first, thank you to
Whoa,
Brohinky and Jason
hold on,
Parker
we
for
need to-
coming on
we
the
need to go-
show.
Rewind.
You good? You good?
That was a bad rewind.
That was
Far back,
awful.
far back.
That was
I saw like
terrible.
tracking signals. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you to Brohinky and Jason Parker for coming and giving an insight. Message of the day is there are jobs in new media and YouTube that aren't always as YouTubers. So find a job, look for a job. There is a future out there for you. Now, so we can
Do
get us
what
out of some
Joshua
comments.
did, weasel your way
Yeah,
in,
weasel
and
your
then
way in.
jump onto camera someday.
Yeah,
Exactly.
worked for me.
Yeah,
so we can get us out of here with some
shout-outs.
comments.
Go.
Oh,
wait.
damn
Oh,
it.
what?
All right, well, never mind. All right,
Okay.
shout outs. Davey Tudor Gaming, Sabi Angola, Jason Locky, this is hard. Turtle Lord, Tech Stomper Gaming, Hunter the Epic, Dribble King 11. He's really good at basketball. Awesome McAwesome.
Different kind of dribble.
He's really good at drooling. Strider Greenleaf. That's like kind of a cool like
Okay.
RPG-ish and like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd
it's like an
name
elf.
my cloud there.
It's like an elf or something. Disney Jane 04. Ginger Cat, what's up? Kathleen Adkins, love you, girl. Ariana.
All right, guys.
Daniel
Thank you so much
Roscoe.
for watching
Hold
Smosh
on.
Games Alliance.
Hold on,
Live.
I'm
He's
Are you
not
still
done.
going? He's still going.
Olivia
He's still going.
Lastella, Hattie Drago, what's up, man? See, these are some
There's
of
some
my
great
stream
names.
peeps.
There's a lot of great names that have great fans.
Some of my stream peeps.
Oh, so your stream peeps.
Yeah,
Which again, you can
Nisa's
find
in
Sohinki
here.
at
Nisa.
twitch.tv/Sohinki.
Yes, every
So,
Tuesday
every
through
Tuesday through
Thursday,
Thursday.
starting at 6 p.m. Although tonight I'm going to be shooting your show at 7
Hashtag
p.m.
unpopular kids.
So it's going to be.
I'm not dead yet, Jovenshire.
Yeah, so it's going to be later
Then again,
on.
Flitz, thanks for being in London with the rest of the Smosh Games crew so I can host the show this week and talk about youtube.com/Jovenshire. Go check out Unpopular Kids. We do some great stuff there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Go find a job in new media. Bye! Unless you're a kid. Big thanks to our guests for coming on the show today. Not just for coming on the show, but also all of their hard work to make this possible for you guys to watch. And if you guys want to watch some more videos that we put out, guess what? The group had a little lunchtime experience just for you guys to tag along with. Also, if you want to know about advanced editing, click this box here and we got all the knowledge that you need to know about.